Hey, what's going on, world? It's me again, Ethan Smith, aka Mr. P.I.E.N, with another bit of Saturday Soulful session of Expression Sessions, where we come through, me and my lovely life, my wife, the beautiful Kiki, where we come through, we express ourselves to you, and hopefully you get down here in the chat and you be sure to express yourself too about something you may be going through or something that we can help you grow through. What's going on, boo? It's been a while. How you been? Back at the Paradox Studios. How you been?
Been all right.
That's all you got for the people? You been all right?
That's all I got. I was gonna get into it, but you got in there before I had a chance. I was just gonna say, we survived the snow being and everything's getting back to normal just in time for us to be mask free in another couple of days.
Ooh, we can talk about that. You know what? You can bring that right in when you talk about your 1 minute win or your 1 minute war if you have something. I know it's been a minute. If you don't have nothing, maybe you might want to talk about the mask situation. Maybe not. Maybe you want to talk about you warring with, really? My husband did it again. He just gonna set me up and ask me a question he know I don't have the answer to. So you could do that as well. Hey, what's going on out there on Instagram? I started you late, but we there now. But you could do that as well. So we hope y'all enjoy yourself, have a good time with us tonight. It's good to be back down here at Paradox Studios and holla at Corey and Julian. We ain't seen Cam, but I know he around doing what he do. I'm always watching in the late night Paradox videos. That's when Cam is working. So if you want to see Cam, you got to watch after midnight, okay? You got to watch after midnight. And I want to say welcome for me to Julian's brother, who I got to meet, who's helping out up here on the podcast so we can sound good, look good, and do what we do to make y'all feel good and get this message from the hood to Hollywood so we can make sure that this expression sessions is a lesson for people to learn from, to build from, to grow from, and to become whoever they want to be. So I did all that talking so you could give me a 1 minute war, Tim Keating.
And I still don't have any.
All right, cool.
I still don't have anything.
All right.
What you got?
Okay, I got one. I got one. I'm going to drop right now on the fly. It just came to me. I got a problem with my inconsistency. Yep, I'm talking about me. I'm warring with me. I got a problem with my inconsistency and the time that I arrive where I say I need to be. See, I told Julian I was going to be here about 6:15 today, and I was late 30 minutes like every other time, to say the least. And that's not good for me. I can't call myself professional E if I'm still operating as extemporaneous E. See, that's me. That's me talking freely, just extemporaneous E, doing what I need to do. But if you do that in your everyday life and in your punctuality too, people ain't going to want to work with you. So I'm kind of warring with myself and my inconsistency and not taking care of me. But here's the win. I've told myself that I can prepare myself to be better because I know for myself where I'm losing that. It's because I don't have a schedule or anything right now to keep me on track. It's like the thing we talking about today, that foundation, that groundwork, how you laid it anyway. See, the things that I had to say, the things that I prayed about to get back here today, it was a foundation that I laid to get here anyway. But when I got back to the safe place, I had a shaky foundation, so I was warring with my consistency. But I'm winning because I'm checking me, and I'm saying it in front of the whole wide world, and this ain't reality TV. This is real E, taking accountability for me. So I had to war with me, but now I'm winning because I know I can get through. And all y'all can hold me accountable, too, because you heard me say it today, March 6th. Don't forget.
At 7:18.
Hey, cool. I know you going to definitely hold me to it. If nobody else know, you will.
Hey, that's what I'm here for. I'm here for you.
Thank you very much. What about you, though? So
I thought of something. So I have this student loan paperwork that I waited to the last minute. I mean, the day is due. I'm scrambling. I'm trying to get my paperwork together and get my application in, and I get the most sweet gentleman on the phone who's helping me get my paperwork together, and I'm warring with this thing because I'm like, oh my goodness, I don't know if I'm gonna get it in on time. What can I do just in case I don't meet the deadline? And he gave me the piece that hey, it's gonna be okay. We tell you this date, but we know it's gonna be people who wait to the last minute. So I actually had until April to get the paperwork in. So that was a win, although I was warned on the last day, like, oh my goodness, I need to get this paperwork in. And it turned out to be a win because I actually had more time, and the gentleman was very patient with me, and I was able to get my application in, and sigh of relief.
Dealing with the student loan got to be a war anyway.
Oh my goodness!
I'm looking forward to the day we win that victory, or my wife ain't talking about deferred
in
payments,
that last,
no more payments.
Yes.
Your payment, my payment, her payment, no payment. Okay.
Yes.
Because I'm paying for stuff I ain't able to use anyway. So I want to get them up out of here, but. They're going to kill a Cam in the building.
Hey.
I was talking about him. He just came up to grace us with his presence. He said he's getting ready for the midnight late shift. For the late shift. He the gift. But yeah, man, just thinking about that and the foundation of that, thinking about student loans and how that even got started. I remember doing some research when I was back in school, and hold on, before I move too fast, get ahead of myself, let me take my greatest wealth up off the shelf, give my peace to God today. Thank you for letting me do it this way. Hopefully you give me something to say that's going to bless the people today, that's going to help them explore their mind and get where they need to be, do what they need to do right on time. So I don't just be blowing me up. I make sure I give you the credit that you deserve, because this gift you gave to me is not just for me. It's for me to give to somebody else, to talk about you and what you helped me to get through, so they can see the awesomeness in them and what they're able to do. So I thank you for allowing me to speak freely, allow me to speak clearly, allow me to speak transparently, and to listen as well. G-O-D. That's all I got to say. Wife, you got something to say?
Amen.
Amen. That's it for me. We talking about the foundation to help set you free. And we were talking about school.
Yeah.
And this wasn't what I was going to lead with, but I'm a go here a little bit. You know, it was a solid foundation set for most of us, definitely here in American society, for the importance of going to school. From the time you hit, kindergarten was fun. You were looking forward to going to school. You couldn't wait. It was exciting. It was something to do. You started to meet people. You started to have friends. And you started to explore new things about yourself. So interacting with people and knowing that throughout the day I'm going to be here to learn. Education was a baseline, a foundation of what you needed to do. It was a baseline of what the United States was, maybe history, maybe how to interact with people. It was a baseline. It was the foundation that was tailoring your life. And then throughout that foundation that was laid, that education was important, people start building up on that foundation, or you start building up on that foundation, meaning that, okay, not only is education important, but now that I've had this solid foundation laid, that school is supposed to be fun, school is supposed to be enjoyable, as I get older, I have to figure out how to build upon this foundation and make it that way for me. That makes sense? Mm-hmm. But when you get to the point where the foundation that was maybe built for you, or maybe that was shown to you, and you realize that you might have been building on a shaky foundation too. And the reason I say that, because we were just talking about Fannie Mae. And when you go to school, when you get to college now in these days, the foundation that you built all those years, it may not even help you get through. And then you have so many fears about college because of the cost that it's going to have, the people who's coming out of school without a college degree. Then this foundation that you built on that was supposed to make you successfully is scaring you away to do what you might want to do that'll help you get free. So sometimes foundations can start out good, but then they can come shaky after a period of time if there's no maintenance or upgrading. Think about the automobile industry, the foundation of the automobile industry, and people talk about Henry Ford and the Model T and not the assembly line, almost integrating assembly line, right? Mm-hmm. So that was the foundation for American cars to come out bigger, stronger, faster. They had the assembly line and the steel. And that's what we're built on, American muscle. We continue to build up on top of that foundation with new technology and new information. What if they would have never begun to build upon that, and someone such as China, someone such as Germany would have continued to advance? It's like everything that you laid down if you didn't go back and do some type of maintenance on it like they did, to go back and look at the foundation and say, okay, what do I need to do different? What do I need to ensure that this thing not only lasts 20 years, but 30 years?
Yes.
It's like a relationship. People often ask, how y'all been married? Yesterday, I was at the mall. Remember I spoke to you about this? Mm-hmm. I was at the mall. Shout out to my man Wolf, getting fitted for Wolf's vow renewal wedding. Yeah. Getting fitted. And I was walking through the mall, and it's been a very long time since I was in the mall. And we just talking foundations. And I was walking in the mall, and I happened to walk past one of those stores that sells like the beautification products, the hand washing, the feet, the all that stuff that they sell, right? All that stuff that they sell, right? Mm-hmm. Now I'm just walking minding my business in my own zone, and I know they're gonna come out, but I was expecting for the cologne man and the hallway kiosk to get me first. I wasn't expecting the lady in the store to get me first, but she got me, and she said, nice outfit. And I was like, oh, cool, that's two. Because somebody earlier had told me at the men's warehouse, like, yo, you killing that. I like the hat. Same hat, different outfit. Don't worry about it. But, so she like, oh, I like your outfit. And it started the conversation, right? We're just talking foundation. Follow me here. Right. So she like, oh, let me offer you something. And she like, oh, let me see your hands. Now, I have to admit, they was ashy, y'all. Your boy, I was looking good. But this was slipping at the time, right? So, and since I knew she had me, I had to listen to her pitch. So now I'm inside the store, right? Now I'm inside the store, and she done gave me the whole hand wash sample and all that stuff. I'm like, oh, okay, this does feel smooth, but this is nice. You know what I'm saying? This is real good. So she's telling me, this is the base coat. This is the foundation. You put this on here first to break up the dead skin, the old skin, and things like that. And now I'm going to put this lotion on there. You think this is smooth. Wait till we put this on there. So then she put the lotion on there. I'm like, oh, man. She built up on top of with killing the dead skin till it gave me this little glow and this shine and this shimmer. So I'm like, oh, nice. This is all right that I came in here. Then, of course, she hit me with the sale. You know what I'm saying?
Of course.
$79.99. The foundation was shattered for me at that point. Like, it was time to go. But that's not what I wanted to focus on. During her hand washing process, she started asking me questions because she complimented my outfit. And she eventually got to asking me, was I married? I said, yeah, I am married. And I'm like, you wash my hands. You don't see the black ring, black finger. I mean, but maybe she didn't get it. Anyhow, she asked me, was I married? I said, yeah. She said, was I happily married? I said, yeah, I'm happily married. I said, I'm not always happily married. Sometimes I don't like her, sometimes she don't like me. And she said, well, you guys must have been together for a long time. I said, yeah, we have been a long time. It's about 25 years, high school sweetheart. And she was like, oh, wow, that's amazing. How do you do that? I'm like, hard work, but you got to have a solid foundation.
Yes.
A lot of times people ask you, are you happily married? Maybe you're not happily married because you built your marriage on a shaky foundation. And it's like I told her, how do I do that? I keep doing maintenance. I learned that as I get older, it's not just happy wife, happy life, and that's going to make everything go away. But I learned and I understood that if I learn how to serve my wife more today, then a lot of problems go away. So foundation, the servitude became the foundation. And that's how people make it to 25 years. People, how you do this, how you do that. Well, I built a solid foundation.
Yeah.
Fannie Mae has a solid foundation that was already built in the education system. They were just able to add to and tell you, education is important. So if you want to go to college, I got you. I'm about to give you, pay for these classes that's going to really be worth $5,000 to $10,000, but you're going to pay me $40,000. And the entry-level job you get only paid $28,000. So now you $12,000 in the debt to start out. Yes. But you got the foundation that education is important. So the question is, what are you building your foundation on? Do we just build our foundation on the principles and the stories and the ideas and the thoughts of others? Do we build our foundation upon the principles and the stories that you may read in your Bible, that you may read in your Quran, that you may read in your Jewish Torahs? What do you build your foundation upon to help you get to the things that you want in life, to have that solid structure. Can you think of some of the key principles that you build your foundation on to get to where you are in life? Maybe like in, say for example, you went to school. When I met you, you was a 4.0 student. All I've only seen you rock was a 4.0, even if you had a 3.2. But something in your mind had to shift to say, you know what, this is what I'm doing. This is the bar. Like, use the bar like that in our home. The foundation is, I don't care what you start. You start ice hockey, you ain't quitting till the season over.
Yes.
So where does that come from?
I don't know. I guess it comes from a drive to just want to be the best version of yourself. And once you do the research to see, what that looks like, because all the time we don't know what a foundation looks like. Say you grew up in a home and things weren't always the best. Mm-hmm. So once you gain new knowledge and now, you have an idea of what a solid foundation looks like, and you just begin to implement it based on, what you feel and your values and, things that are important to you. And to me, quitting was not an option, because it's almost like if you allow yourself to quit things and you never finish anything, then you can't really be successful, and there's really no longevity in you getting from where you are to where you want to be. If you continuously quit, you have no fight in you. You have no, like you say, foundation within yourself, and I think it starts from within. Sometimes we're so busy attempting to build things outside of us, and we don't start within. You have to quiet yourself within. You have to build within. You have to know within yourself that I want the best version of me. I want to, give it my all, even if I'm not great at it in the beginning, because the more you do something, the better you get at it, and that's okay. And some people are,
you don't have to be great to get started, but you got to get started to get great.
And some people are so hard on themselves, like, oh my God, I wasn't so great at this, so I'm just gonna quit. And it's like, well, how do you know if you can be great at something if you're always quitting because it don't come easy to you in the beginning? So it's like growth is not always an easy journey, and you just have to be willing to stay on there until.
And maybe, unfortunately for some people, they may come from a generation or a history or ancestry directly of quitters.
Yes.
I know. Take it how you want to take it, family. I did. When I say that, I don't say that with no malice. I say that to say, look, you become the company you keep. Yes. I'm the youngest of 4. My 3 siblings dropped out of school. I dropped out. That's a form of quitting.
Yes.
So if you see people quit, you feel like it's okay. It's about me. I don't want to do this no more. That was my thing. What's the problem? I don't want to do this no more. I'm out. Yeah, not only are you out on the people, but you out on you. What you have the ability to do, you keep reinforcing the broken foundation that someone else is giving to you. Like you said, you have to look within. You have to start doing maintenance within. You also said you don't have to be, I don't know, you might have said great or good, but you don't have to be great to get started. You just got to do it.
Yes.
If you stop quitting and you start finishing, you'll become a finisher. But sometimes it's sometimes it's not your fault, but it becomes your fault when you carry it for the rest of your days and you want to do better. It wasn't my fault that, people divorced or walked out my life. It wasn't your fault that I walked out in your life. It wasn't, their fault that Snowmageddon came and we didn't do shows down here. Like, it wasn't our fault that those things happened. Right. But it's damn sure our fault if we never came back down here and we just said, yo, it snowed last time and COVID is still going on. They're taking masks off. I don't know what's going to happen. I ain't going to come out here. I got a jacked up foundation. Because my foundation is the build, and we were doing something here where we were building. Yes, it don't start out great. When you build a house and you pour the foundation, and if you don't know what you're doing, you're going to have to go back and do some more work.
Yes.
I've seen it in Texas where they had to go tear the whole foundation out.
Just to tear it down and start over.
And when you getting in a relationship with God, y'all know I ain't religious, I'm spiritual. when you get in a relationship with God, your whole foundation is going to be ripped out. And it's not all coming out at once like we want it to, like a hot and ready. That thing getting eaten just like the pizza, piece by piece. Yes. And if you one of them old school heavyweight frat boys, you say I eat it all at once, you still got to do it one bite at a time.
Absolutely.
Nobody just folding a piece of stuffing it in their mouth and swallowing it down. So God don't take your foundation out like that, because it took years for your family to build that foundation. It took years for teachers and Fannie Mae to build that foundation to make you believe this is the way. It's taken us years, days, weeks, months, fighting and struggling how to become entrepreneurs and not workers anymore.
Yes.
I'll be 44 years old or young tomorrow. I look good, 44 years old. Thank you very much. You're welcome. I will give you my secrets. There's a lot of positivity, inspiration, a good wife who holds me down in all my madness, but it's believing that I'm still young as I feel and living spry, and then keeping myself around young energy. Understanding that the foundation of God creations is youth. Not that I'm looking to always be youthful, but I'm looking to surround myself with the youth, because they have their foot on the next building on top of the foundation. We're here at the studio. We got lights set up in the living room. We don't know all this.
Yes.
They do, because it's what they into. They've built their foundation of learning how to work the audio, learning how to work the video. I learn how to speak. You learn how to speak, be pretty, and just be like whatever he need me to do, because I want to get out of here. Jesus. The more he talk without a breath, the less I have to say, unless I got something. And no, in all seriousness though, the foundation was built years ago, just like our relationship. You know, the foundation of your life didn't happen last night. It was built years ago. And if we don't like the life that we live in, or if we don't like the way life is playing out for us, as my wife said, my rider said, you have to start to maintenance your mind. You have to start to look at what's in your mind. You have to start getting started and knowing I don't got to be great.
Yes.
But I at least got to get started. I got to build a new foundation. That's the thing about them. They can be tore out.
Yes.
They can be tore out. This wasn't always lofts like this. If this building was here 100 years ago, it didn't look like this. Somebody had to go down there and get up under the sub work and do some re-engineering and some restructuring. It's highways and everything in there. You got all type of wires and veins and connectivity and neurons going through here. You think, poof, God just gonna change your foundation.
That's the society we live in. We want it yesterday.
Well, you're not.
But it's a process.
And you can't have it. You know the scripture is, I'm gonna look it up, but the man that built this house on the sand and the man that built this house on the rock. You can have it. You can have it right away, but can you maintain it? Again, we talking about the power of a solid foundation. You can have a relationship where you got the ring on, boo. You married. You look good. Y'all got a matching outfit. You fly, I'm fly, our cars fly, but the relationship then flew the coop. Because we don't have no foundation. It ain't built upon nothing.
Yes.
I'm comfortable now, every now and again. Most of the time when I get on record, I could be a little nervous. When I open my mouth, I know it's me and God having a conversation. I'm comfortable being extemporaneous. That foundation is built. Record, lights, camera, action, I got work to do. But when the camera go off, sometimes I question me too. Do I need to sit down and study this more? Do I need to write something out? You can't be extemporaneous all the time, because that part of my foundation is kind of shaken, because of the way I could possibly see myself and what I used to be. Again, he's still taking it out of me. He's still taking it out of me. He's still taking it out of you too. You have to let him reshape. You have to let him mold you. You have to let him maintain the foundation that somebody else may have given to you.
Yes.
What you looking up over here, boo? I see you got some. Oh, you got the scripture.
You mentioned the
up.
scripture, so I was looking it up.
So you want to read
Hopefully
it for
that's
me?
the right one.
Yeah, let me see. Build your house on the
Matthew
rock.
7:24.
Yeah.
Everyone then who hears these words of mine and does them will be like a wise man who built his house on the rock. And the rain fell, and the floods came, and the winds blew and beat on that house, but it did not fall, because it had been founded on the rock.
Okay, let's just stop right there. Nah, I'm going to go somewhere that's going to be a little bit left, but I hopefully bring it back in. Okay, so the foundation was built.
Yes.
On a lot of buildings in this here city. Now, the stuff that was built up on top of the foundation wasn't as secure as the foundation. Here's what I mean. We had apartment buildings that was raining water. We had ceiling fans that was freezing over, and I get it, pipes were busted.
Yes.
Why? Because you thought it could never happen to me. I won't deal with that type of pressure. I know my mom or my dad said I shouldn't date that type of person. It won't happen to me. I know I should go to school to become, you know, a artist, a dancer. I know I should be building on a solid rock, which speaks to my spirit. It won't happen to me. I won't just wind up with a degree not working. That won't happen to me. I built my rock on this foundation. On what? On this slippery slope, on this sand. But it's the people that build on the foundation of their purpose in life, their passion in life. And I know a lot of people don't know what that is, but my wife said something earlier. In order to have a solid foundation, you got to start looking within. In order to figure out what your passion and your purpose is, you have to start looking within. You look at the Warren Buffetts of the world, he says it. Your greatest investment is investing in yourself. If you invest in yourself, you're laying a solid foundation. He's 86, 87, 88, 80 some odd years old, still doing what he loves. Why? He has a solid foundation and a set of principles that he follows when he makes investments.
Yes.
A lot of us lack foundation because we don't have any principles. We don't have any real values. We don't have any real direction of what we want to do or how we want to go. So it's hard for us to even get a foundation built because we're changing like diet phases from keto to Atkins. And you wondering why your body ain't changed. You're like, yeah, that's good.
It's good.
It's like a pin dropping. Y'all hear it? It's like silence over here. I don't know if they studying or what, but I'm learning that silence is cool. I'm laying the foundation for an amazing, amazing show. That's what's happening right
Absolutely.
here. That's what's happening right here. But can you go back to that scripture for me?
Yes.
Again, and what am I referencing that to? We build our relationships on the sand. You know, you build your relationships with people at work on the sand. You don't want to deal with your boss, even if you may not like them. But here's the thing about your boss. They're in a position that you're not in. So that foundation, if you want to move up, if you want to learn more, might be a little bit more solid than the people who complaining right next to you. You getting advice from your girlfriend and your homeboys who don't like the relationship they in. That's not a solid foundation to build your next relationship.
Absolutely.
I'm still talking to people who work a 9 to 5. No offense to people that work a 9 to 5. I'm talking about people who work strictly a 9 to 5 and nothing else. And I'm talking to them about being an entrepreneur and doing my own business. That's not a solid foundation because they don't even understand that terminology.
Yes, they don't understand the work ethic it takes to be an entrepreneur.
And the rain fell and the floods came. And when the winds blew, they beat on that house. But it did not fall because it had been founded on the rock. Now, me and my wife done fell a bunch of times. I done fell a bunch of times. Y'all heard me say it. I done fell a bunch of times. And people done lost houses, and houses done been through storms. Relationships go through storms. But as we sitting here, if you didn't hear about the tragic years, you wouldn't know or have no idea how this foundation that you see in front of you today got solid in this way. That we could sit here and smile. It took some time. It took a while. And here's the thing about that. It's still being maintenance. It's still being maintenance.
It's not a one and done.
No.
It's something you'll have to do for the duration of the relationship. It's almost like a car. You get a car, you don't just say, okay, I'm going to put gas in it today, I'm going to get an oil change today, and I'm good for the life of the car. And you expect it to still be working a year from now. So it's a maintenance that's constant if you want to keep it
It's all about what are you building it on.
Right.
Again, it goes back to what you remember. We were driving here earlier, and we were talking about something that's nail polish, and whether or not a woman comes out the house, it's either all on or all off. Let me ask you fellas a question real quick. I got a quick poll. Now let me ask you this question: if you meet a girl for the first time, right, and she got nail polish on, but it's chipped and stuff like that, it's not 100%. Would you odds if you found her attractive, like, no, you seen this girl, you're like, oh man, she look good, I'm going to get her, and you get up to her and you look and her hands got some chipped nail polish, is that a deal breaker? Is it of concern? So if you seen her like that 2 weeks in a row, what would you think then? Cool. I get that. Well, I'm saying all that to say, me and my wife was having this conversation as she was repolishing nails, okay, coming down here. And I'm like, I really don't care about that, because the foundation of our relationship is not just that. But in her mind, as a mature woman, and in the time we came up in, the foundation was set that you don't come out the house with your nails bad. It's like saying you don't talk to, I came up in the hood, you don't talk to a person, male or female, with bad shoes, because that says they don't take care of themselves. Well, that you might be basing that off just your foundation. Your foundation isn't my foundation. If you're not continuing to maintain and do maintenance on your foundation and the people that you're around, then your foundation is going to be broke, and you're going to see when God is removing pieces. You'll get stuck on fingernail polish. You'll get stuck on 2021 that a 4-year degree is the best way to be successful at being broke. A 4-year degree is probably one of the quickest ways to be broke. You're going right into debt, and depending on what you get that degree in, you might not have a job. So I'm just being honest with you. Yeah. My wife has a degree in IT. I don't think she's probably had one job in the IT field. Again, I know that.
It's so crazy because entry-level positions in IT require you to have experience, which you don't have unless you have like an internship or something in your college years. But if nobody educates you on getting an internship or tells you these things, then you just go through your classes and you like, I aced these classes, I got this information, I'm going to be great. And then you get out here and you put in all these applications and they're like, well, yeah, you did good in school, but can you really do the work? And then you don't get the job because you didn't have the experience. And it's like, okay, this is crazy because of course I don't have the experience. I just graduated from college. So that's what I'm here for, to build experience. And I feel like they have to teach you something because each job is not the same. There's no one size fit all. I may know something about computers, but the way you operate in your business is different from the person down the street. So it's just crazy. And I know a lot of people with degrees have faced this. They get out in the world and they think, okay, this book knowledge is going to get me there, and it's only half the battle, and then you discouraged, and you have a degree in mathematics, but you work at Burger King because you just can't.
Hey, them numbers, you doing numbers, ain't you?
And you're like, when I was going to school, I had these big hopes and dreams, and this is not where I was looking to go, and it's a downer. It's, it can be, very discouraging. And now, like you said, we got this Fannie Mae knocking every month like, hey, we do want our money back from that one time when you was in school. And you're like, well, I'm not working enough to get there. So, yeah, it's crazy. Having a foundation when you're in school to know the basics of an internship and how important that is, and building before the graduation. Like, there are certain steps that if you don't have the right advisor, they set you up for failure instead of success,
I had an advisor ask me, I was, 40, 41 years old. I had an advisor ask me, and this is after the semester that I got a 4.0. She asked me that I think I'll be able to get some, some B's. She's like, what type of grade you think you're going to get in this class? I'm like, oh, probably some C's, B's. I don't know. Like, I won't fail. I ain't say no A. She's like, well, you think you get some A's in there? You know, 1 or 2? I'm like, I could, but I ain't here for that. I'm here just to get the degree. I don't care about the score at the end. I want to maintain and retain the information that I'm learning and communication. I could care less about your grade. And I understood you talked about advisors leading you the wrong way. Her foundation that was built and was set on the school's curriculum and foundation. You're advising me for what the schools say you think I should do based on the grade that you're not looking at, based on what y'all believe is best for me.
Yes.
But you're not looking at the foundation of, oh, this kid he has the ability, she has the ability to grow and improve. They came here with a 2.7 and last semester they had a 4.0. Oh, we got something here. They building on something. But if your foundation is just to see the nail polish, the ratty shoes, your foundation is just to see the old nerdy dude with the glasses who's sitting in the warehouse with a damn sign on the wall that says Amazon, and you think he's never going anywhere because you haven't done any maintenance on your mind, then you might just leave your Jeff Bezos behind.
Yes.
You might just leave your Beyonce behind. You might just leave your Tim Kedia behind. You might just leave your Julian or Paradox behind because you haven't did any maintenance on your foundation to say that, yo, I need to go in here and chip some of this old stuff out because people have the ability to grow just like I did.
Yes.
My house can be knocked completely down, but if I got a solid foundation, we can rebuild on it.
Yes.
And when you get with God, he like, yo, your house is like the 3 little pigs. I huff and I puff, I barely blow. It's coming right down because I know the people who created you, and I know they didn't deal with their broken foundation because this goes back generation, and each generation is supposed to do something moving forward and replacing the foundation that was given to us.
Yeah.
So I know it's broken. Just tell me it's broken, and I'm gonna help you straighten it out.
Yeah.
That's all he's saying to you. That's what he told me to tell you. I know your foundation is broken. I built you in brokenness, but it was your brokenness that allowed you to keep building. It was the realizing that school is a trap and a setup just to be a worker. No offense to anybody who wants to do that. But it's people out here that think like, yo, I can wake up when I want to wake up, work when I want to work. And we soon realize as an entrepreneur, you're working more hours, not getting paid, than you are working overtime and getting paid. But the fact that I can wake up at 3 in the morning and start working and go back to sleep at 12 noon, as my wife do sometimes, you know, because that's the peaceful part of the day. It's set in her mind. My foundation is I'm going to get this done. Doesn't matter when I sleep, how long I sleep, I'm going to complete the mission. I'm going to complete the mission. But when you go to work and your everyday 9 to 5, your foundation becomes the boss's foundation because you got to meet them numbers. You got to meet that quota. And then what's poured on top of your foundation? Your co-workers and their problems, the baby daddy drama, the baby mama drama. The artist didn't show up at the studio. The equipment ain't working. The lights went out. The internet is down. Now you got to deal with all this stuff from somebody else and all these pressures, and then you go home and you don't meditate. You don't pray. You don't wash your face. Sometimes you just sit down on the couch. All that stuff sit down with you, and then you just eat food or look at social media, and you wonder why we stay stuck where we are. Because somebody else has laid the foundation for your life. When God has gave you a simple call, I came to give you life and give you life more abundantly. If you don't feel like where you looking at right now, what you doing right now is abundant in your life, then you need to check your foundation. You need to check your foundation. We talked about this to show. You know, it's great to be back here at Paradox, and we are talking about the same thing. Hey, maybe we should, you know, mix it up a bit. You do it on this day, bring it out that day. I know we started on this day, but it's time to do some maintenance to the show. It's time to pull back and rebuild. You're doing something with a new team. You brought it as far as you could bring your foundation.
Yes.
Now somebody else is ready to help you build upon this. Don't bring in somebody to help you remodel your house and then you tell them exactly what to do and you don't know how to do the job.
Yes. They're the ones with the expertise, but you telling them how to do it.
Hey, man, that's all I'm saying. I get it. What you were taught is what you were taught. It's just like me talking about God and my spirituality. That's what I was taught. Christianity is the foundation that's mainly laid in the United States. That doesn't make it right, doesn't make it wrong. What it makes it is the foundation for somebody's life. School all the way through is the foundation that's laid in someone's life. But I also know who people who are second and third generation entrepreneurs.
Yes.
That's the foundation that was laid in their life. The internet and social media is laying a new foundation.
Yes.
It's called figure out how to get it on your own, because there's no excuses. Whatever gifts, talents, quirks, weird things that you do with your body or to your body, you can find somebody that'll pay you for what you do to your body. Because a new platform has been laid. I said this. You came up in a time where it was get a good degree, get a good job, be a worker. I wouldn't got the good degree, computers. Nah, I ain't able to work because you're telling me I don't got no experience. How am I supposed to get the experience when I was in the school getting to work? Right? How? You shaking up my foundation. But since I didn't maintain with the way school was doing it and I just followed the foundation that was set before me, now I'm unsuccessful. And I'm living the life of everybody else, feeling like I'm winning because of my car or my house or my clothes that I wear. But people have all those things and still don't have happiness.
Yes.
Because
So
the foundation is jacked up. What you got? You keep looking like you got something.
Oh, you said it. I was just saying we have all those things, but we're still not happy, because happiness a lot of time is not based on things. It's something that's within. If you don't feel fulfillment in what you're doing in your life, you can have all the things you want. It's only going to be temporary.
That's it. It's like your home. It's only going to be temporary if the right storm come through. The foundation stays. When them hurricanes and everything come through, you don't see the foundation removed. The house be all down the street. The whole house could be floating on the water. The foundation is still there chilling.
Yes.
Why? Because it's dug out. It's dug out. It's dug out 3-4 feet. It's poured into the earth. When you dealing with God, he's digging out of your where? Your heart. Because he know that's where the pain is, and he's pouring up in your heart. God said, I don't measure a man by his acts, I measure a man by his heart. What does your heart do? Your heart is the foundation of you.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Your house, the foundation, the foundation is the heart of your home. The heart of this podcast, the heart of where they do these podcasts is up here in the loft. You got the best lighting, you got the best ambiance, they get to set up in a certain spot. This is the heart of the operation. You have to walk up here to the operation.
Yeah.
Blood flows to the heart from the body all the way through. You got to go up. So when the foundation is laid, then you can start building up on it. You can bring different people in to help you build up on it. The American government has the greatest foundation ever. It's called the American Dream. They brought people in to help them build up on it. The education system, build up on it. But then you find out, whoa, this is America's dream. It's not my dream. I want a part of that dream. I want to have a house, but I don't want to be in debt to have it.
Yes.
I want to have money, but I don't want to be in debt to have money. I don't want everybody just lending me money. I want to lend money. I don't want to borrow money. So it's a lot of things in the American dream that if they didn't tell you, that would have helped shape your foundation. But the foundation that they wanted us to have, to be workers, to be consumers, to need instant gratification, that's what's built. If you get the iPhone 12, 13 today, my foundation says I have to have it tomorrow because I have to be able to keep up with you if that's what I'm into. What I look like showing up in the iPhone club with the old iPhone? You still on the 10? We on the 10S. Because some people's foundation is that it's so bad that they've taught it to you. My phone gonna go bad in like 2 years. 2 years, I'm going to need a new phone. 3 years, I'm going to need a new phone. Why? Because they've already set it in place to start altering and jacking up the system. It's in your mind you got to get a new one anyway. It's in your mind you got to get a new one anyway. With 3 cameras today, you ain't even shooting movies. But the foundation has already been laid. That's all I'm talking about. The foundation has already been laid. But if you begin to maintenance your mind, you begin to maintenance the foundation that was given to you, you begin to change you. You begin to change you. The reason that they're here at Paradox Studios doing this, because a seed was planted in their mind at some time to say, yo, we can do this. We got this little talent. We got this little gift. I know how to talk to people. We could do this. All we need to do is get one person in. The foundation of belief, the foundation of faith, of building up on that, of building up on love, of building up on that.
Yeah.
When you build on those solid foundations, your life can do nothing but ascend. When you build on, it's his fault. It's her fault. Why me? It's always someone else's fault. When that's your foundation, everything around you seems to crumble and fail. We all probably know somebody that you talk to or you've talked to before, and it's always a problem in their life, but it's never their fault. Never their fault. I don't know why that happened to me. I don't know why I got pulled over today.
If they would have just wore red, I would have been successful today.
I would have been okay. I don't know why this loft space ain't making no money. I don't know why I rented out this space from you. I ain't making no money. You said I could make $10,000 a month, the last person. Well, why I ain't making that? Well, damn, you got to put something in the loft space. I gave you the foundation. Now you got to add to it.
Yes.
The people bought the land, right? Mm-hmm. In Leander, Texas, and all parts of Austin, the people buy the land.
Yes.
I got the land. That's a solid foundation. Then I build a subdivision.
Yes.
Jesus bought your life at a price. I got you. I'm out of there. Gone. I got you. Right? I bought your life at a price. I gave you the same powers that I got. Now all you got to do is build on it.
Yes.
But everybody else then told you what your foundation should be based on what they see. And then you live your life going foundation, maintenance, free. And then you stuck right where you say you don't want to be. So my question for you is, how strong is your foundation? And what are you building it upon? And if you don't like where you at, how do you change that?
Yes.
You just get started. We're right where you at. Like you said earlier, you don't have to be great to get started, but you got to get started to get great. You just have to take action. No matter how small. I said it. My 1 minute win, my 1 minute war. I'm taking action and speaking it out into existence in front of the world to see. And this is something I've been speaking more freely because it's true for me. I have to do better with my time management. I have to do better with my time management because managing my time lays the foundation for where I say I want to go, where I want to grow. We ask God for everything, and he's given us everything within our time, but we don't control that. And that's the foundation, the basis of how you begin to build your life. Your boss gave you a time to be at work. You set your alarm clock based off the time he told you to be there, and throughout your life, that was the foundation set for your life. I know I got to be to work at 8. If I'm be late, I'm going to be fired. That foundation was laid in your mind, but you don't get up and grind for yourself that same way. I know I'm going to have to work for somebody today, but if I don't get up and grind for myself for 6 hours, I'm going to be working for him till I'm 60. Hey, what you need to do is get up in the morning and talk to you every day. Say, I'm going to begin to live life my way. I'm going to live life on my terms, what God gives to me. I'm going to see myself living abundantly. Start looking in the mirror and speaking to yourself. Have a funeral for yourself. Bury the doubt, bury the fear, the unforgiveness. Start laying something down new for you. I dropped out all F's and D's in high school. When I got to college, I changed that mindset too. I had to see me in a different way. I was putting the cap and gown on before I even had a graduation date.
Yes, I remember that.
And then when it was time to graduate on the date, I didn't even want to go anyway. I said, I ain't got 3 hours to waste to be sitting there for they could call my name. I already got the degree at home. I ain't even got it in no frame. I ain't lying. Because the foundation that I had set for me was already a success to me when I got the degree.
Yes.
I ain't have to go for the show. We so busy going for the show that we never grow. We just want everybody to see what the house look like. But you don't want to see that the pipes is leaking at night.
Yes.
It's like that movie, Money Pit, came out like in 1980 something with Tom Hanks. Bought this big, beautiful house up on a hill, and he was just dumping money into it. The foundation was horrible, but the look looked amazing. You bought the story of go to school and get a degree in this field. You bought that, girl, this the right man for you. I'm gonna hook you up. You know what I'm saying? He looked good on the inside. He looked on the outside. It's all dressed up. It looked like it's ready to go.
Yes.
Then you realize they foundation cracked just like mine. The difference is I'm doing something with mine and they wasting time complaining, whining, wondering why they ain't growing. People have became millionaires in this pandemic.
Yes.
People have became millionaires in this pandemic because their foundation was the grind to grow. I'm about to get somewhere else. I read it in history that during the Depression, it was a lot of people that created businesses. It was during Hurricane Katrina, somebody created a business. What is set in your mind? What do you see for you? Do you see why me, Lord, or do you see why not me? Why not me? It's okay for me to go through the pain and the adversity. It's okay for me to be a divorcee. It's okay for me to drop out of high school, quit the military. All that was okay, because it's okay for me to sit here and be able to speak about that today and inspiring somebody in some way. Because my foundation, regardless what God had to say, although I was a quitter at times, I won't even like to say that, put it on my mind. I was a slow finisher, I would like to say. I was just running a race at my own pace. I wasn't ready to win that day. That's all. I was taking my time. No, but when I was quitting on things, I had to change the way that I seen the things that I was doing. When I started doing them for me and I started doing it at my pace, I realized I wasn't really a quitter. I was just slow to finish compared to everybody else. So I stopped comparing to everybody else and I started comparing to myself and I started maintaining the foundation that God had placed in me, and it allowed me to continue to build this thing regardless to what it looked like, what it sounded like, what the topic was like. It just continued to help me to build on top of the foundation of what I said I wanted to do. And then before you know it, you got a whole crew of people that you're working with.
Yes.
Is it?
Yes.
Yes, okay. Okay, I thank you for at least saying yes today.
You're welcome.
Listen, man, I get on this microphone and I talk long and I talk a lot. My wife say her spit and she get in what she need to say. I really hope that this blessed you today, and I hope this inspired you in some way to move you to transform your mind today. If you don't like where you sit, where you stay, if you don't like what you do, what you work, what you going through, I dare you to sit down and just write down about you. Write down what you feel about you. Write down what you going through. And then after you write all that down, write down what you are going to do. Write down the foundation that you want to lie, that you want God to build for you. And then write down the things that you want to add to it too. Don't be afraid to dream. I'll be 44 years tomorrow and I still dream like I'm 13. It's still stuff that I see for me, that I want for me, that I believe I'm supposed to have. Even if people hear it and they sometimes laugh. That's okay. This is your life. You get to lay the foundation anyway. Based off of what God has to say, how he talked to you, you get to do whatever you want to do. But you got to do some maintenance to be able to maintain you, to be able to empower you so you can endure whatever he take you through. You got something to say, boo? Did it bless you?
Yes.
You supposed to say that. You married You're going to say that anyway. You're married to me, but thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you.
I'm here for you.
All the time. You are a solid foundation for me. You about the only one that can deal with all my madness and insanity. But the more paradox see me. But that's what I want to do. That's what I want to give to you. This is the foundation that God has blessed me with. I'm a high-I flight attendant. If you haven't got to the assessment yet, email me, Gmail me, Mr. PIEN 77. But that's part of my foundation. That's how I am. I'm the life of the party, the guy that wants to go in there and have a good time and be fun. But I just got to know that where I'm at, it's okay to just relax myself, because some people's foundation is not mine.
Yes.
And they might think my foundation is cracked. Why is he acting like that? Is he on something? What's wrong with him? No, I'm just happy about life today. And when you start to build and maintain your foundation, you'll feel the same way.
Absolutely.
That's almost all I got to have to say to y'all today. I think I'm just about on time, or maybe a little bit early. But it's all about having a solid foundation today. Julian said, I don't know if that was for me. If I'm early, if I'm late, I'm just looking at the Facebook time. So he don't be giving me no cue. He like, give me a cue. 3, 2, 1, you off. We just turning you off right now. You gotta say something, boy. I be talking for 3 hours. He like, man, we got other shows to do. So anyhow, I hope this motivation and inspiration was something for your situation, to free and relax your mind as if you are on a vacation. Vacation, right into mind transformation. It all starts by building and then maintaining and adding to your solid foundation. Peace. Be out.